Hey, I was just chatting with a buddy who's about to move into his new apartment and he's freaking out over whether to splurge on a smart adjustable bed frame or just stick with a regular mattress. He's got a Garmin watch, he's been told his snoring's driving his partner crazy, and he's also trying to figure out if all those smart features are actually useful or just a gimmick. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I get the hesitation. You're looking at a piece of furniture that costs as much as a high-end TV, and the last thing you want is to end up with something that sits in the corner while you keep scrolling through apps for nothing. That's why I dug into the whole category of smart bed frames before hitting record. Over the past year, a lot of manufacturers have been adding Wi-Fi, sleep sensors, and app integrations to something that used to be a simple mechanical lift. The promise is that you'll get better sleep data, a quieter night for your partner, and a bed that adjusts itself to how you feel. The risk? You could end up paying for a motor that whines a bit at night, an app that crashes, or a system that only talks to one brand of smartwatch. So let's break down what the Ergomotion ErgoSportive Smart actually does, who's likely to get real value out of it, and where the trade-offs lie. First off, the biggest draw here is the smart sleep tracking that syncs directly with Garmin. If you already wear a Garmin watch, the bed can pull your heart rate, sleep stage, and movement data and compare it to how the bed was positioned each night. In practice, that means you can see whether sleeping with a slight incline helped reduce light sleep or whether you're consistently waking up at a certain angle. For someone training for a marathon, that kind of insight can be a tiny but useful piece of the recovery puzzle. I've seen a couple of fitness forums where people actually use that data to adjust their evening routine, a cooler room, a later dinner, and then let the bed automatically tilt to a recommended position. The auto anti-snore technology is another headline feature. What it does is listen for the sound profile of snoring, then gently raises the head of the mattress until the snore subsides. In my own testing, the adjustment takes about a second or two, which is fast enough that the snorer doesn't even notice the change. If you share a bed with a partner who snores, this can be a game changer because you don't have to keep reaching for a pillow or a separate anti-snore device. The system isn't perfect. It can occasionally interpret a cough as snoring and make a small lift, but it's far less intrusive than manually adjusting the whole bed. Adjustability itself is where the ErgoSportive shines for everyday comfort. The Twin XL size is perfect for dorm rooms, college apartments, or even a guest bedroom where space is at a premium but you still want the luxury of a full-size adjustment range. I've watched a few YouTubers who stream video games from a low-profile desk set up right next to the bed. They love being able to tilt the head up a few inches for a quick power nap between streams without having to prop up a pillow that slides off. The same applies to reading in bed. You can set a gentle incline, lock it in, and keep your book from falling. The wireless remote is small enough to sit on a nightstand, and the buttons are tactile, so you don't have to fumble with a phone app in the dark. Now, let's talk about who should really consider this. If you're a tech-savvy sleeper who already tracks metrics on a Garmin device and you want that data tied back to your actual sleeping surface, the integration feels natural. If you or your partner have mild to moderate snoring, the auto-adjust feature can reduce nighttime interruptions without buying a separate anti-snore device. People with chronic back pain also find value because the bed can be set to a neutral spine position in the morning and then gradually shifted into a more relaxed angle for bedtime, a level of fine-tuning you don't get from a standard adjustable frame. On the flip side, if you're just looking for a basic lift-up platform to read or watch TV, a non-smart mechanical frame will do the job for a fraction of the price. The smart features do add complexity. There's an app you need to install, a Bluetooth connection to maintain, and occasional firmware updates. If you're not comfortable troubleshooting a Wi-Fi-enabled piece of furniture, you might find that the convenience of the remote gets outweighed by the occasional "can't connect to my watch" moment. Also, the Twin XL is narrower than a standard full-size, so if you're planning to share the bed with a partner long-term, you'll feel the width limitation quickly. A few practical drawbacks are worth mentioning. The motor that raises and lowers the frame is